Hey friends, it's Mr. Jim and welcome back to Kid Short Stories. Before we hop into the story, I just wanted to thank you. I wanted to thank you for making this podcast one of the biggest kids podcasts in the world. Yes, it's because of you and you telling your friends about it. It just means so much to me that you have loved these stories so much that you listen to like 100 a day, right? Well, friends, I am so excited to share today's story with you. Are you ready for it? Me too, let's go! Today's story takes place far, far away. Not quite in another galaxy, but definitely on another planet. You see, on our neighbor planet named Mars, we actually learned how to grow trees. Trees are the first step if we ever want to live on Mars because trees produce oxygen. But the problem with trying to grow trees on Mars is because Mars doesn't have the right dirt to grow the trees on. And so we tried for many years and finally found the secret. The secret was snail poop. Yes, snail poop is the best ingredient for trees to grow in. And so once we released a whole bunch of snails onto planet Mars, bloop, 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 they pooped their way all the way into the tree fertilizer and the tree started to grow. Magic, right? I know. But unfortunately, that is where the story takes a terrible turn and our friend Spike is going to need to save the day. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, good morning, world, said Spike as he woke up out of bed and stretched his arms. The alarm clock had gone off. It was very early, but it was time to get up and check to see what the mission was today. He checked his walkie-talkie, and there was a message from HQ.
Shh! Spike, we need your help. We need you to fly to planet Mars because unfortunately all the trees have begun dying. We don't know what's causing it, but we need you to figure it out. Good luck.
Shh! Mars? Said Spike. I've never been to Mars before, but okie dokie. After finishing a delicious breakfast, he put on all of his spy gear and his spacesuit. He was going to need that if he was going to fly to Mars. Hopped inside of his spaceship jet that was parked in his backyard, buckled in, pushed the red button, and he blasted off in a puff of smoke. It's a good thing that his spaceship jet was so fast because planet Mars is very far away. But his jet got him there in only 3.5 minutes long. What? How's that even possible? I can barely put my shoes on that fast. As his spaceship jet touched down on planet Mars, he was greeted with a nice big poof of red dust. That red dust is pretty famous on planet Mars. I've never been, but I imagine it's a new color red that I've never seen before. As Spike stepped out of his space jet, "Wow, this place is beautiful," he said. Oh, don't worry, he was wearing his astronaut suit, fully equipped with oxygen breather, because, Mars wasn't totally ready for people to live on. There were many trees growing, but it wasn't quite ready yet. And as Spike walked over to the first group of trees that he saw, he was very surprised to see, what is all that disgusting goo pouring out of the side of the tree? Said Spike. You see, he was looking at these trees that were very tall and full of big green leaves. That was going to produce a lot of oxygen for all of Mars. But the side of the tree, like the trunk part, it looked like it was leaking out, I don't know, ooey gooey brown slime goo. It was pretty disgusting, and he didn't want to touch it, but he had to for science. He reached inside of his pack and pulled out a Q-tip. A Q-tip would be a good thing to scoop out this slime onto a beaker. Oh, that is the ooeyest, gooeyest goo I've ever seen, said Spike. He had plopped on this goo inside of this beaker so that he could take it back to his spaceship jet and look at it under a microscope. But on his way back to the spaceship, he saw another thing. Not a person, not an animal, another thing, a thing that he had never seen before. What are you gonna do with that goo? Said the creature. Oh, hello. I'm just taking it back to my lab inside of my jet. I gotta inspect what's going on with these trees. The trees seem to be dying, and the goo is strange, so I must...
Are you talking about those strange, spiky things growing out of the mud?
Strange spiky things? You mean these trees?
Yes, they're absolutely terrifying. So yes, we've been trying to get rid of them. Wow, are they not dangerous?
No, they're not dangerous. These are trees, and they make oxygen so that people can breathe here.
Oh, we didn't know that.
This Martian would go on to tell Spike about what him and all of his friends had been doing. Ever since the tree started growing, they were very afraid of them. They'd never seen a tree before. And so they learned that the snail poop is what was keeping the trees growing and alive. So they moved the snails away from the trees, which made the trees start to ooze that ooey gooey stuff because they were dying.
My friend told me that those trees would eat us in our sleep. Is that not true?
Oh, no. Trees are very nice. Where did you put all those snails?
Come with me. They're over here.
Whew. Spike was very relieved to find all the snails over on the other side of the hill. The Martians had taken the snails as pets. I think they really liked the snails. They reminded them of themselves. And they brought the snails back to the trees so that the snails could continue pooping on the trees' dirt so that they could get the nutrients that they needed. And by the end of the day, the ooey gooey goo stopped sliming out of the trees. And Spike waved goodbye to his new Martian friends, climbed in back to his spaceship jet, and blasted off towards planet Earth. Phew! Another mission well accomplished. Great job, Spike. You saved all the trees on planet Mars. And made some new Martian friends along the way. The end.
Hey friends, I need your help celebrating 2 birthdays. Drum roll, please. Happy birthday, Layla, who's turning 5 years old. Layla loves science, imagination, and has a new sister named Esma. Wow, Layla, I'm so glad we got to celebrate you and your big day on the show. Happy 5th birthday. And next up we have... Happy birthday, Dominic, who's turning 5 years old. He loves drumming, learning his ninja skills, and playing video games with his sister, Anastasia. Wow, Dominic, I'm so glad we got to celebrate you and your big day on the show. Happy 5th birthday, Dominic. I hope you all have a super duper day, and I'll see you on our next adventure. Bye.